Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another stream, another weekend, and another day of learning. So, today I am joined by Sangam and Saloni, and we have three different areas to cover. First is Terraform, and the second will be Golang, and followed by Grafana. So, I will take up the first one. So, without wasting any time, let's just begin the learning because you are up so early and why to waste time? So, this is about myself, just a bit of introduction. My name is Sayyam Pathak, and I am doing live streams from a couple of weeks just for the community so that we all can learn and grow together. Below, you can see all the streams which are already there. Yes, day before yesterday, we had one stream with Nigel on Docker internals. I'm CKAD certified. I'm CNCF ambassador, Docker community leader, Rancher Influx Bangalore meetup organizer. I'm an Influx ace, Rancher Ranchers member, Kubernetes member, and you can follow me on Twitter. I'm very active, and my DMs are open. Anything you want to ask related to career, related to CNCF landscape, any tech, maybe I'll not be knowing everything, but I can guide you in a way that we can figure out things together. So today's topic is very popular one, Terraform. I got a lot of requests for this particular piece to showcase like how it works, what it is, and let's see what Terraform is. So basically, you know, there are different ways to provision infrastructure. So you have various cloud providers and all like Azure, GCP, all these cloud providers, they have a console, web console. So you have the cloud provider UI, and you can use the UI to create compute instances, to create your networks, create your VPCs, disks, snapshots, and bunch of things, all the services basically. So the one way is to provision via the UI. Second way is via the cloud provisioning tools. So what do you mean by cloud provisioning tools? It is all the JSON and the YAML files that the cloud providers understand while provisioning the infrastructure. For example, Google Deployment Manager for GCP. Then comes our own Terraform, which we'll discuss today's. It's HashiCorp's Terraform. So HashiCorp is a company, and Terraform is an open source product of that company. Other tools which are they are majorly of the configuration management and not built in purpose for infrastructure spinning up. So we'll not discuss about all of the Chef, Puppet, and Sybil. This screenshot is basically an example of a simple resource type of a provider and the name and some of the configurations, which we'll discuss when I'll give the demo. So Terraform. Terraform is infrastructure as a code. What do you mean by infrastructure as a code? You define a certain set of instructions. Basically, I would say rather than infrastructure as a code, it's just a document that you define, and in a language which we'll discuss later. So it's a document in which you define certain steps, and those steps are identified by Terraform and get applied to the respective cloud provider, or basically the respective provider. So that's infrastructure as a code. You have written everything inside a file or a document, and that is passed in such a way that whatever you have written gets provisioned inside your cloud environment or on-premise or whatever the provider you want the infrastructure to be. Now, this is very important because it solves a lot of major problems. First one is, say that you have a big infrastructure to spin up, and you have multiple environments, multiple scenarios where you want to spin up the infrastructure and tear it down. So Terraform becomes the obvious choice for that. It helps you easily create repeatable infrastructures. So you can define one time, then change certain set of variables, and then the infrastructure will be provisioned with another set of configuration. Now again, change the variables, maybe one or two variables, maybe the environments, dev staging, and you can have another set of infrastructure spin up. And as and when you want, you can destroy that. The same sequence it applies to create the infrastructure. In the same sequence, it will get deleted. So you can see provision infrastructure using human and machine readable code, coded workflow, change update infrastructure. So that is kind of a day one operation. So you have created the infrastructure. Now what happens is, after creating the infrastructure, there is always something you want to attach a disk. Maybe you want to create another subnet, maybe you want to create a DNS, maybe you want to create CDN. So all these things comes after provisioning the infrastructure. So now once the infrastructure is provisioned, after the infrastructure, you need a lot of changes that has to be done to the infrastructure. Those changes can also be applied using Terraform. So it not only solves the base problem of spinning up the infrastructure, it also solves the second level of problem, which is managing the infrastructure. So it has very good feature of plan before applying. So what you can do is, you can define all of your document, all of your readable code inside a file, which are the TF files, Terraform files, and you can do a Terraform plan. So what Terraform plan does is, it lets you know like what all things will Terraform try to create inside the cloud vendor or whatever provider you have provided. So that is something really cool. Just imagine that you have there is a developer, and he or she maybe doesn't know what all things to be deployed. So they are deploying just like that, maybe a medium instance or a extra large instance over there, and they are not sure. Maybe they spend up a GPU. But the thing is, Terraform lets you plan before you apply. So once you run plan, you can just skim through what all things will get created, so that you are very sure that, okay, I really need these things. And after you have verified yourself, because it's human readable, so you can do a Terraform apply. And the same plan that have been showed to you in the plan phase will get applied in the applied phase. So the infrastructure gets created over there. And the last point is reusability. I already told you, like there are different persons in the team. You want to reusable the code, and so you can do that. In the end, I'll touch upon I'll touch upon Terraform Enterprise and Cloud just to cover one scenario, but we'll not use that in demo. We'll use the open source version. Again, this is Terraform continued. So Terraform is open source, completely free to use, and that's why it is extremely popular among the community. And I feel it's a kind of a de facto choice. Whenever any cloud vendor comes up, they come up with their Terraform provider. And there are more than, I think, more than hundreds and hundreds of providers over there with that are readily available, not only for public cloud vendors, but also for the custom plugins are there. And today I will show you the example of a custom provider, which is cool, so that if any custom provider is there and you want to use that to create infrastructure using Terraform, so how to do that. And it's a single binary and extremely easy to install. So installation is just download the binary, unzip it, make it an executable, verify by Terraform hyphen version. And it's cross-platform, so it runs on Windows, Mac, Linux, all the platform. Terraform language, so all the coding, I would say, you can say it coding, but it's just just typing the provider name and giving some configurations, keeping the syntax and tight. So that particular language, they have defined it as HCL2, which is called HashiCorp Configuration Language. And the link is there, so you can go and check out what things are there, how it uses, what all features are there. Open source, you can go and contribute as well. Everything is written in Go again. So that's why we always have a Go session, and which is very important, because Go is very much required in CNCF landscape in order to learn in-depth things and in order to contribute towards the open source projects. Okay, so I hope you have some amount of understanding now of what Terraform is. So say that you have Terraform installed in your machine. So first I'll go through all the slides, and then we'll move to the demo where you'll get more understanding of the stuff. So these are some of the most basic commands that you'll use always. One is the Terraform version. Terraform version gives you the version of the Terraform. Also, if any providers are installed, it will give you the version of those providers. Now, what a provider is just you can say a module created by the cloud vendors or whosoever wants you to use Terraform to spin up infrastructures in their particular their particular data centers. And next one is Terraform help. Obviously Terraform help gives you all the help information, the command information. And if you want any specific sub command help, then what you do is Terraform sub command help. So you can see this thing, Terraform apply hyphen hyphen help will give you the help options for Terraform apply command. So you can have your commands and see what additional arguments you can pass to that command as well, options basically. And go to next. So Terraform directory structure. This is very important. What you can do is after installing Terraform, obviously you create a directory, and directory is nothing but just a folder, maybe a random folder by your own name. So suppose you have a folder named XYZ. So in that folder, all the files that will be there will be of .tf or .tfvars extension. So this is the extension for Terraform. And the major files, I would say the bare minimum files would be main.tf, variables.tf, and outputs.tf. So outputs.tf will give you what results you want, customized results. Main.tf is actually what you want to provision, and variables.tf will be the variables that you want to use in main.tf. And these can be changed if you want to spin up another infrastructure. And this will be a center place for changing the dynamic values. So this is a typical directory structure and very simple, not any rocket science or something. So let's go into the variables or TF file. What is actually there in the variables file? So in order to declare a variable, what you do is you type variable, then the variable name. Inside that, you give the tag to be applied. So this is not tag. Basically, the description will be here. I'll edit the slide, and then the default. The default means the default value for this particular variable. So variable name over here is tag. The default value over here is Nginx. Now, there are different ways I can set the variable. One is obviously using the variable.tf. If I have given the default value in variable.tf, and in the main file I use this variable file to get the variable var.tag. So I'll use var.tag. I'll show you. So var.tag, if I use the main, so it will automatically pick up Nginx for the variable tag. Now, there are other ways in which you can pass the variables. So there are, for the complex infrastructures, it is recommended to use tfvars. So one is the command line you can pass, and these are in order of precedence. So on the highest priority. So this will be given the highest priority, and this will be given the lowest priority. So these are in descending orders. So the second one is the one which we have to focus on, which is called terraform.tfvars. So it can be a JSON. You can have terraform.json as well, and the tfvars. So what tfvars does is, I'll just give the value for tag in the tfvars file. Now, if I do a Terraform apply, your tag value will not be Nginx, and instead it will be one declared in terraform.tfvars. If terraform.tfvars is not there and you have not defined anything, then it becomes default, which is Nginx. And then you have your environment variable. Suppose you export the environment variable, you can use that. Default I have already discussed, and then is the manual entry. So these are different ways in order of precedence. They're written in the documentation also of Terraform. You can go there and check, but this is exactly the same. You have command line, the first precedence, and after that the tfvars, environment variable, default, which is there in the screenshot, and then the manual entry. Then we have something called Terraform provider. Now there are native Terraform providers, and then there are custom Terraform providers which are not readily shipped with Terraform. By shipping, I would say that it's not that it get installed by default, but you don't have to place the downloadable file somewhere else. Just an example. So given on the bottom right, if you see, I have given provider Google. So this is for Google Cloud. After giving this particular file, provider Google in the providers.tf file. So there is a file which you create which is called provider.tf. Now in the provider.tf, if you give provider Google with just this empty credential, what it will do is it will try to download this Google's own Terraform provider with the credentials that you have defined, which will be used to connect to your account when you are spinning up the infrastructure and using the modules given by Google. If you see up, you can see a Terraform provider which is Civo. So Civo is another cloud which we'll actually be using today. So they have created their Terraform provider. They have written a Terraform provider code. I can show you the repository, and you just give a token for that. But if you give just this, it will say that it is unable to find Civo. In order to make install Civo, what you have to do is you have to manually download the Civo binary from their repository, put that in the plugins folder, and then run Terraform init. And then you will see that provider Civo will be installed. So for the native ones, it's simple. For the custom ones, you have to do this particular set of effort. That's why I chose custom for this particular demo, so that you know basic one is very easy. For the custom one, you have to do some amount of effort. There is another command which is called Terraform providers. You can just give Terraform providers and it will give you all the installed providers on your system. And by the way, you will run Terraform always locally. I mean, you can run on server as well, but you can run it locally. Just you have to give the proper set of credentials and proper directory structure, and everything works perfectly. Terraform version will give you, like I said, Terraform version and the providers version as well. Terraform apply and destroy. So after you do a Terraform plan, which is what all things will Terraform try to provision, you do a Terraform apply. So it checks the current state, it do a refresh of the state, like it fetches all the information from the provider, like whether what all instances, what all configuration, what all things are already being created for that instance. Then it will check against our TF files, which are the Terraform files, what are we want to create. And if uh, our Terraform files are not there, our infrastructure that we have given is not there, then it will create that infrastructure. And same for destroy, it will destroy the infrastructure. And there is one file which is already which gets created each time you do a Terraform apply with the version revision. So it maintains the state, which is very important. You should know what state you are in. And there is also a backup file which actually gives more detailed information about this particular state. So for slides, I have this much. Now we'll do a demo. And so what we did, just a quick recap. Terraform, open source, infrastructure as a code, single binary, easy to install. It uses a HashiCorp configuration language. You just install it, make it executable, chmod plus x, verify, and move it to your user local bin or user bin, and then you can use the Terraform version. Few commands. Terraform help gives you the help of the commands. Terraform init will download all the providers, whatever you have mentioned in terraform.tf. Terraform plan will give you the plan, what you want to apply, what you want to provision the infrastructure. Terraform apply will actually provision the infrastructure. Terraform destroy will destroy the infrastructure. Directory structure, you have all the files with the extension .tf and .tf vars. .tf vars are so variables are the file where you define the variables. .tf vars are the file where you actually explicitly give all the values of the variables for the complex infrastructures. Then you have different set of different types, different ways, sorry, in which you can set the infrastructure, set the variables. And then you have Terraform providers. You can have custom, you can have the native ones like the Google, DigitalOcean, Azure. All these are native ones. You can directly use them. And if the custom ones is there, you can manually download it, put them in the plugins repository, plugins directory on your local machine, and then you can run a Terraform init, which will give you that particular provider. Then you can do Terraform apply destroy. So this is in short, not in short, this is actually a lot of Terraform actually we discussed over there. Now, even if you have not understood some of this stuff, it's fine, because when I do the demo, things will be more clear. Let's switch over to demo. Okay, I think let me do a destroy first. I think I didn't do the destroy. Okay. So now this is the directory structure. I'll increase the size a bit more so that you can see. Okay. So if I give you ls, so I have, okay, I'll do ls hyphen all. So what I have is I have a variables.tf file. I have terraform.tf vars file. These are the state file that got created when I did an apply. This is the provider.tf file, outputs.tf file, where I have given the custom output, instance.tf file. It is actually the main.tf, but I have just named it instance.tf. Then the data source. So data source is another file that helps you use the native data sources of the provider. You can directly use them. I'll show you all the contents. The main thing, let's first go step by step and see how we did the provider. So first, what I did was I installed Terraform. How to install Terraform? I go to Terraform install. This is the Terraform installation. Getting started with Terraform. They have a small video also how you can install it. Mac OS very easy, and other manual installation you can take download the appropriate package from. Okay, let me share the screen again. I think I shared only the PPT. Sorry for that. Yeah, I hope now you are able to see the screen. Okay, so like what I was saying is, so this is the directory structure, ls hyphen all. I have different set of files, variables.tf, terraform tf vars, terraform tf state, provider, outputs, instance, data source. We'll go through each and every file, but the main directory is .terraform that gets created. So what I have done is, first I install Terraform. How I install Terraform is by going to installing Terraform. And here it shows that you can download the appropriate package by using wget from the releases page of Terraform, or from directly from the download Terraform page. So you download the binary from here, unzip it, place it in the executable format chmod plus s, and place it in the path where you can directly execute it. That's the complete installation. After that, what I have done is I want to provision for this particular demo. I want to provision my infrastructure on Civo Cloud, and Civo Cloud do have their Terraform provider. They have created their Terraform provider. Now went to their page. I clicked on, since I'm on Mac, so I clicked on the Darwin one. I copied the address, and inside my folder, I went to .terraform directory. I created a directory called plugins. I created a directory called Darwin underscore AMD64. Inside that, I placed Terraform CO provider. Now, this is a mandatory step if you want a custom Terraform provider to get loaded in your local. So you download the zip and extract it over here, place it in this particular directory. Now go back, go back, go back. I'll clear the screen. ls. Now we create a provider.tf file. Now what is there in provider.tf? Okay, I'll change the token later. It's fine. So in the provider.tf, I have given just a provider Civo and provider Google, just like that. Google will download by default automatically. And provider.tf, this CO will take the provider which we have installed the plugin and directly give you, because it's already downloaded, you have already kept it over there, and it gives you the version. Now if I do terraform init, it states that your provider CO of this particular version is there, you can use that. Now make sure the credentials are correct, else while connecting and while creating the instances it will create problem. And good thing is that all these credentials can be changed. So cloud vendors, they give you a way like you can rotate these credentials as and when you want. Next file, so now the provider is loaded. Now my major goal is to create an instance using Terraform in CO cloud. What I do is I create a file called instance.tf. In that I give a resource. So mostly the pattern will be same resource. Here it will be CO instance, and if you are maybe you are using for Google, so Google has their own Terraform list of these things that are given resources, so you can take from there. Then you have my test instance, and inside that these are some of the information that we have to give. One is the host name, what will be the name of that instance. One is the initial user, tags. Now these tags, if you see, I'm taking from where dot tags. In order to take a variable from, sorry, in order to take a value from the variable, this is how we declare that. Where dot the name. Then nodes and these things are already there. So this data, so the size and the template, these I am taking from the config files, the data of the CO itself, CO instance template size medium and 0, which is defined in, so the next file is data source, which is defined in the data source. So CO has data source, which is CO instance size, and I give it as medium. And these are some of the filters that we can use. Value will be medium. And CO template, so these are also data sources are also already present for each and every cloud. You can go and use them as is. So I have created my instance. I have created my data source, but I used one variable. So I have to create a variable file. So variable of variables.tf, I created a variable called tags. I gave it a description. I gave it a type. It is a list, and I gave it a default value. So if I do not provide any value, it will take Nginx. But I want to give my value and you want to give your value. So you just change. So I create another file which is called terraform.tfvars. And I just give tags is equal to my name. That's it. Now, ideally, when I do a Terraform plan, it should pick up terraform.tfvars file and not the Nginx file. Output, what I have done is I have created output.tf. This is my custom output. So I have named the output custom and my value will be this. So whenever I do a Terraform apply and it completes, it will give me this value. And this value again, I'm getting from the data source. Other two files, Terraform state and the state, you don't have to create, it automatically gets created. So we created provider to install CO Cloud. We created instance, which is the main basically to create the instance. Since we used data sources, so we created data sources, and we also used variables. So we create variables.tf, and we want to provide our own value, not use the default one. So we created terraform.tfvars so that it takes that particular value. Now we are ready with our coding. We have done the code. This is, and you can see that this is just create proper directory structure, and you can call it as a language, but I feel it's more of a document kind of a structure, which is very easy to learn and easy to write. So there is not a huge learning curve in Terraform, so you can learn readily. So you can go and you can also do this particular demo very easily. And there is a CO Cube 100 program also that you can apply to join, and you will get some free credits also. I think they also give $50 free credit. I'm not sure if right now it is there. So you can try out this particular stuff. And now what we'll do is Terraform plan. So we want to make sure things are working. So we'll actually do the demo. Now Terraform plan is refreshing the state and it is saying that Terraform will perform the following action. It will create a CO instance, my test instance resource, which with the host name test Terraform with the ID, everything will come afterwards. But if you see in the tag section, it has taken my name, which I defined in the TF wars file. So here from here, you can see the precedence that I mentioned in the slide earlier. So it plans to add one resource, zero to change and zero to destroy. So this is very much necessary every time you try plan to do a apply, make sure you run the plan command first. Now what we'll do is we are happy, we are satisfied with what it will create. So we'll do a Terraform apply. Again, it will check for the refresh. It will refresh the state and see if the instance is already there or not. If not, then it will say, okay, it is trying to do. So whenever you do a Terraform apply, it do the plan first. And it asks you that it is going to do this and you want to do it. I say yes. We can automate that as well. And it starts creating the instance. And if I go to the CO console, I can show you here. If I refresh it, it already started creating the instance. Test Terraform. See, it is in the creation phase. And after some time, the instance will get created. In the meanwhile, there is a tutorial. HashiCorp has a lot of tutorials, which is learn.hashicorp.terraform. I'll post it in the stream. And in the meanwhile, we can check some of the questions as well if they are there. If multiple people are working in Terraform and the results are dependent on each other, which is the best practice to make everyone work? That's a very good question, Padmaja. The thing is, now this comes in a day two operations kind of scenario where you have a Terraform file and you have multiple folks working on the same Terraform file. So there are two challenges in that. One, how to maintain the state. So state is very important to maintain, and how we have a central system where everything gets stored, uh, that you can use Git or something like that. But uh, it is very important, and let me switch to this particular window. Yeah, so it is very important that we maintain the state of whatever we are trying to achieve. For that, there the best practice, I would say, is you if you are using open source, there are very limited options. If you are using enterprise or the cloud one, then the enterprise was built with this mindset in with this particular mindset to eliminate the first problem, which is multiple developers working on the same Terraform script. What happens is the code becomes sequential, so they can work, but every time they try to update, there's a Terraform state maintained at a global level, and that state is the final state, that is the final verdict. So I would suggest go for Terraform Enterprise in that particular scenario if you have a lot of developers working on the same Terraform to avoid any sort of conflicts. Now, okay, let's see any other question is there. I want to create clone infra in same region for testing. So I feel you can use the same Terraform scripts and just change the region, or maybe if different region or same region, whatever you want to do, and you can do that.
Same, we have one more question from Sahil Sood. Did we get sample template of Terraform from cloud service providers?
Yes, we do get Terraform templates from all the cloud vendors. I can show you that. I just opened somewhere. Let me see. These are the official Google providers with their documentation, and most of them have very extensive documentation. So first they say how you actually give the provider file and make that provider work for you. And then you will be having on the left hand side, if you see, you have app engine, BigQuery. Let's say you want to give maybe compute. Where is the compute thing? Compute engine. Let's see the compute engine. So these are the data sources that I was talking about. So they have their native data sources. So you can use these data sources, example usage, and attribute reference. So as it is, I mean, you will get a lot of blogs on Medium, like they will be having sample templates, but documentation wise you get all the docs, all the references that are there for particular instantiated VPC snapshot. So you can see it's extremely extensive. You can even create a Google Kubernetes engine using Terraform. So Terraform not only provisions the infrastructure, you can also provision high level things like softwares, applications on top of that. They have local exec providers. You can do a local exec on the machine and you can install certain stuff. All those things can be done. Yeah, so you can see that my apply was completed and it gave me the output, and the output is the custom one that I defined. So that's the beauty of the Terraform. Let me go back to the CVO instance and see if the instance was created. I'll just refresh it and it should be green. And yes, it is. I have successfully created infrastructure on CVO cloud using the Terraform CVO provider. And I don't need that, so I'll do a Terraform destroy. And it says again, it ran a plan, and it says that 0 to add, 0 to change, but 1 to destroy, because I did a Terraform destroy. Do you really want to destroy? Yes, I want to destroy that. So it will be destroying that, and it is completed. If I refresh the CVO Cloud UI, I can see that my instance is no more. So I would say go ahead, learn Terraform. It has a lot of great tutorials. Okay, yeah, there is one good tutorial. Getting started with Google Cloud. So you can, I think, follow this particular track. It says you how you can manage Kubernetes, or how you can get started with Google Cloud, and it gives you most of the details of creating the instances. So you can find lots and lots of examples over here. I'll paste that link in the chat. So you can have uh, Terraform tutorials, and they also have a lot of workshops and online webinars that they keep on doing. So make sure you attend them. But I feel that this particular thing that I have told you today is actually the base core of Terraform, and you should be very much comfortable in doing whatever you want, whatever infrastructure you want to provision in any cloud. What you would just need to get is the information of the cloud provider, and what all the data resource structure is that you want to define. So once you know that, you can easily do it. I'm 100% sure. Maintain the directory structure, installation, providers, that's all. It is nothing rocket science. It is very simple. And Terraform is not becoming, is actually the de facto standard right now for creating all the structures. Even you can create your Kubernetes clusters using Terraform providers. So that's it from my end for today. And I hope you enjoyed the session on Terraform. I hope your base concepts are clear, and I hope you enjoyed the demo of the custom Terraform provider. And with that, I'll hand over it to Sangam, who will be demonstrating a Golang workshop. And he will be covering some of the more topics of 101, which where we left from the last time. He is the author and the owner of Engine IT Ops, where he writes a lot of blogs, and he's a traffic ambassador, Docker community leader, and he has published a course on K3S. and extremely active and enthusiastic member for the community, not only for one community, for almost all the communities he has his hands on. And he has started his Discord channel as well, where you can join and learn Cube daily, which I think he'll talk about more. So with that, I would welcome stops the screen, and I would welcome Sangam. So Sangam, go ahead, stage is yours, and you can start. But we are not able to hear you, Sangam.
Hey, hello everyone.
Yeah, perfect.
Hope now you can hear me. So before starting Go, I want to show something. Don't be panic. So this is a CNCF landscape. Maybe you're familiar with some of the projects. There will be database section, streaming, messaging, application, image building, and there are a lot of things now. CNCF become a huge kind of a software a house to of tool where you can use and solve your problem, and those tools today are written mostly in Go language. And that's excite me a lot uh, to like learn from these projects, and I want to show something to you to learn something from this tooling, how they created, and you can also build a such kind of open source tool in future. And this is a future of software technology where everyone is going to DevOps. Maybe you're any kind of engineer, so you're using maybe you're using another languages. The language doesn't matter. Every language has feature. You can learn new language anytime. Age also doesn't matter. So let's start with Go, and I will just recap a little bit, and then we will cover a uncompleted part, and then we will move on to next sessions. So let's start. So we can go to Collabornix dot. You can go directly gopherlab.collabornix.com. So this is a one of a project I started a year, not a year, 7 months back, and I started writing my blogs around Go language to how to help people uh, from if you don't know programming also you can learn. So this is a track. Last time we completed Hello World programs, how to play with number systems, variable, constant, scope, decision making, if, for loop, and we saw some kind of program hands-on sessions. And I think I have completed till a map. So we'll start from new make struct. We'll cover that, and after that we'll see what is the function, what is the function expression, closure, and uh, return function and recursion. How to write your own stack code. And after that, if I got time, I have something excited around Go standard library. You might be like new to this stuff, but uh, let's learn. So I have covered in, you can check the last video, same YouTube channel. Go downside, there will be one video called Go Octato and InfluxDB. Click on that and go to description, and there will be a time. Click on that time. You'll learn the from beginning till this particular slides. So I covered this thing last slides. So I'll be, I think I have completed these things. Let's move on. I have completed this thing. I am, yeah. So till this, I have completed pretty much everything new make, and what is the difference between make and new, where to use and where not to use, what the rules that make your learning very easy and quick. So let's start from, I think we'll start from struct. So struct, let's start from struct. Okay, I have completed this one. Let's start from struct, and we'll cover as much I can. So struct, how to create a struct. So in this program, I have something called package main. Always, if you don't know Go, So always you need to write a create one file called main.go. Inside that this code you need to copy paste, and you can click this link and you can copy paste. So package main fmt. After that, if you want to create a struct, you need to type this syntax called type person struct. I am creating a struct of person type with two field, one is name and one is age. After that, I am printing those particular values. So in fmt.println, it's kind of similar to C program. It's not a new. FMT is a formatting which give you allow you to use a scanf, printf kind of stuff. It's a formatting package. So I'll be you need to if you want to import a package, so you need to give import, and this particular syntax, there is various syntax I have already discussed. You can check. So after that, I'm passing this particular struct. After that, what are the field values of this particular structure? You need to pass that. So let's see how it's look like in real time. So click on this link directly. It will automatically copy this all code and just click on run button. So in this downside, you'll get output of whatever the field values it will be printing. So field value will be James and age will be 20. So this is a program where you need to define a struct like this. After that, what are the fields? After that, pass that struct value, a struct name, and after that, you need to pass a particular values for field values for that struct. So this is a small program. Let's move forward. So next will be okay. Okay. So after that, we'll see something new. So let's say we see this particularly seen this. So in this program, what I made a particular changes where I have created one variable called p1. It is a short variable declaration where you don't need to give a what is the data type of that variable. So you just give this symbol. It's called a short variable declaration already discussed. So after that, whatever the struct name, if you want to change this particular, you want to get a particular field name. So let's say this is a new variable I created. Pass that variable. After that, what is the field you want from the struct? So it automatically take this particular thing and it will print James and 20. First it will print a whole thing, both of the fields. After that, it will give as per parameter whatever you given. As per that, it will give. So let's move on. So in next program, in this program, if you want to like uh, give a particular field, and if you want to change a particular only one value, let's say I want to print, I have two fields but I want to give one, you can use this. And this program and this program I think same. uh, so let's move forward. And if you want to give there will be I given only one field, I didn't declare any field for age, so it will automatically give you a zero. So whenever you can declare both, and you can declare like this also, you can declare the whatever of field values is another way. So let's see what is the t here is doing. Already you know this about code. So this will give you a type. So here is the funny thing, when I give this type of p1 in this particular main function, so it will not give a type of this particular struct. So it will say it's inside this main function, and after that it will first point to this main function. After that it will point to a struct. So output will be main dot struct. So you can click here and you can just run the program in your browser, and if you're using mobile or anywhere, you'll get this particular value. Let's move forward. So let's say I have something, I have already I'm pointing this now, I'm addressing this particular struct to here, so it will automatically refer here. So that part is done, everything is same. After that I'm getting the type. Now type will be, now type will change here because I have given at that person, so it will point first to main. After that it will point to a person, so it will give a value here, pointer main dot person. After that it will print this particular one value. After that, it will print whatever the age field of this particular struct. So it will give James and 20. So you can click here and you can run this program, you'll get this output. So let's move forward. So let's here in this program, what I did is I used here new. So here I used a new. When I create a new P1 and I have added a value for this particular one field, a second field. After that, I give P1 value. So after P1 value, what it did here, returning a pointer is newly allocated, and it will give a pointer automatically when you use a new for the particular struct. So it will point to this thing actually, but this P1 declared inside a main function, so it will point to main. So it will give a point main dot person. After that, it will give a whatever the field thing you were given to this one. So you can use a make with struct. No. So what you can use and what name make for slice maps and channel only. Okay. So you need to, this is rule, you don't able to use this functionality, some of the functionality. So just if you want to learn a quick, this is a tip from my side. So next program we'll see. Now I have two field. I have given a value James and 20, and I have printed first value giving. Now I want to change this field value of person. So I will give this particular P1 whatever the variable, after that field value. After that I will declare here new, and after that I will print. So it will give my whatever the updated value for this particular thing. So it will give me a new value. Uh, so you can update like this, you can update a field value of struct. So let's move forward now. This particular program is pretty much similar. So I think I've not spent much time here. So just I used I'm not used a particular address thing. So you can use, you can declare like this also. There will be multiple ways. So there is a good particular blog, documentation. Always learn from documentation. I learned myself from documentation. Go to golang.org/reference specification. You'll get a struct there, and you can go how to create empty struct, how to give a different particular fields with their data types. After that, you can see the what is the pointers, how can use, you can test it out this. And downside, this is exercise. If you read these questions and try to create new things, and if you have any issue, tweet me or ping me anyway, so I'll help you to learn. uh, can you use make to create a variable struct type? So this is a thing you can able to do, and you are not able to do with struct, map, slice, indexes. So this is a pretty much tips. You can follow the previous videos. You'll get map. What is the map? What is the slice? And how to use the new make, and how to use a comma, where to use comma. So this is what are the syntaxes, how to play with syntaxes. I have already discussed in last. I think this topic I am covering from middle. So this is a reference link. You can go there and you can learn. So this is pretty much with slice map and like only make struct. I think only I covered struct, and previous video you can check. So let's move on new topic, so you will able to understand from beginning to end. So this will be a function. So function, you already saw a main function, how to declare main function in first uh, program where we executed our first hello world program. So how to create own function? So I have created one function called create uh, with a parameter of name, and its type is string. So whenever you give a parameter, you need to declare what is the return type, what is the type return type of this parameter. So it's type of string. After I will print that. I will now passing two values. Let's see this particular thing. Open a new tab. I think it's open here. Okay. So this is a new program. So just run. So it will give my name or whatever you feel given to this particular string. So I am declaring this particular function two times with parameters. So it will give two times my particular output whatever I passed the parameters. So let's move on. So calling a function, just you need to give like this as similar to any other languages. You can just declare the function here. It will automatically execute this function. It will first execute main. After that, it will go here. It will jump here, and it will give hello everyone. So you can declare a two parameter, and you can print those two parameter. You pass two things as similar to a previous. So this is a way if you want to have any doubt like how to do two things if you are beginner. So this will helpful. So let's move forward. So you can return. You just need to give a return. Create a function with parameter. What is the returning type of this function? Is full three string. So after that return and whatever the field. So here when you return, you need to give a sprint, go to documentation, Google Golang documentation, a sprint. What is a sprint? You can read. It's similar to printf, but when you return a value, there is something when you use a string print or return a lot of things. Print ln, print new line. So maybe you know basic things. Already I have discussed about this point documentation. So you can check that. So you can return this thing like this also. You create a new variable called s is equal to particular this thing, and you can just after that return this thing. So it will give us same output. So you can give a multiple. You can just two time. You can just give a comma, and after that you can do this two time returning value. So two time it will give my name in output. So this is a new thing called variadic parameter. Maybe you are not familiar in other language is not there. Maybe don't heard, but it's new thing for you. This let's understand how what is the variadic parameter. So what is variadic parameter is when you create a function and what is this whatever a string you are giving, that whole string store in one variable, that is the variadic parameters. So here variadic parameter is sf. After that give a three dot what is the this value you want to pass after return. So total I am initializing to 0 0. After that I creating a for loop. When you don't want to give a initialize a variable, give this particular uh, ideal black tick. So just so in Go language, when you declare something and you don't use that variable, so what it will do is it will throw you error that it's not using anywhere. So Go is very mature and simple, where it's not like other program where you declared and not using, that's fine. But Go is very straight and simple. If you don't declare, you declared a variable and not using anywhere, so it will throw error. So if you don't want to use, you can, this is the way I have already covered in previous video. So this is a for loop, v range sf. So whatever the range of this particular, whatever variadic parameter, it will take that whole range and it will increment. So after that return a total. Now total is 0. So whatever total of this array, now I have declared n as a variable. I use the short variable declaration after the average, and after that I have passed a particular parameters. So this parameter will go in SF. Okay, this parameter is go in SM because this is a function, and I have declared function and parameters here. What it will do, it will go here, it will do this thing, it will do calculate total. So it will do a total is of this number is 300. After that slash, it will check the length of this particular parameters. So it will check a length. After that it will do this calculation, and calculation will be 50. After that it will store here and after that it will print this particular println. So what is the println value will be 50. So output will be 50. So let's see another one is kind of similar. So you can do like this. You can give array kind of this with a float. You can pass a parameter, rest of the same it will do, and just you need to again you need to declare one variable and store this whatever data inside this, and after that you can print this thing. Same output will get same output. There will be multiple ways. Maybe if you're using different logic, this is like different kind of logic, you can use like this also. So this kind of you can do like this also. You can give this data. Okay, and now after that, here what I'm doing, I'm passing the data here, but I'm not using data anywhere. Just it will store this thing inside this data, and this function parameter will be data, and this function will, when it is execute, it will do one thing. It will run this particular thing, and it will take this data variable, and it will execute. It will get a same output. This is another way of parameter name does not have to match argument name. So this is the thing. If parameter name is not a particular thing. So exercise, you can do exercise after this, and if you have issue you can do. So this is a package main. Here we just declared a package, but there is no this verdict function. This is a simple uh, thing. So let's move forward. So here we created this thing. After that, now function expression. When you give a function expression, now what I am doing is I created variable. Inside that I am passing this func value. So what it will do is it will run this function. After that it will print. It will go here, it will go here, it will run this function. So this is a expression. A variable is equal to a function. What it will do, I declare greeting downside. So what it acts like, it's act like a particular function. Is a variable equal to function. So the scope of this greeting will be a main function. It need to be inside a main function. Now this curly braces of this inside need to be inside this function. If you give this outside somewhere, it will not run. It will throw error. So it will throw error of greeting undefined variable. It will not. You are not using greeting variable anywhere. So you just declared. Let's move forward. So you can take the, if you want to know what is the type of this thing, particular this variable, you can just go here and you can run this. Already you know this annotation. Percentage t is for type. If you want to know the data type of this particular variable or whatever function. So let's see this. I'll open new tab. So when I run this, what will happen? It will first run this hello run. When I give this thing, so what is the my type, data type will be func. So it's this particular greeting as a variable expression equal to function, it is equal to func, this func. So it will give a data type will be this. So this will be like similar to this one. You can do closure. You can see a closure. One thing enclose another thing. Enclosure means one thing enclosing another things. So in this particular thing, what I did, I have created x is variable declared. After that, it will increment. We are using same thing, x particular variable as expression. So after that, increment. After that, func int x plus plus return a particular x. Now I am here. I am passing this incremental variable. Now scope of this x will be func main. This x will be used to whole thing, and func incremental has access to only x. So this can access only x. So when you declare here, it will throw out error. So this is not disclosure. Okay, I have declared here a variable as a global variable outside of this particular main function. Main function is downside. So this is not a closure. You can return a particular type using like this. Is kind of similar if you understand this program. What is closure? So you can do return. Already we discussed how to. It's like C program. So this is a particular thing. You can give a function as a return. So this part will be a not a particular a func expression. So it is not as equal to variable as a function, and but this thing is equal to greeting is equal to a func as a variable. So let's move on next thing. So now I have a func uh, make greater. I'm just printing this hello world. So let's see this thing and let's explain this thing. So when I run this program, so what we'll do first, it will go to func and return a func type as the return type is a string. After it will give whatever the return type. So here I have declared a greeting is equal to this thing, but I have given this greeting as a function downside. So what we will do, print, it will go here, it will take this, it will go here. After that, it will execute this function and give a return value of this thing. Now, what is the return value of this thing will be, this thing will be a type of that thing. So if you don't give this string thing, so it will give only func as a return value. So let's see the callback. So this is a good diagram to understand. So you have declared a function. You have given two parameter. One is callback function, and you have declared a same as we last time see a particular slice uh, passes through this particular uh, array. Its slice is kind of array. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 value. After that func anti int. So how it will execute? It will do execute this thing. It will take this thing, pass to slice, go here, and it will execute this thing, and done. So let me run this thing to understand you how it's working. So I will explain. What we'll do, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 value. Now visit. So visit function parameter will be this. Okay, this one. But func int, what it will do, it will go here, it will go callback value. Okay, this one callback int will do. After that, it will take the range. What is the range? After that, it will execute one by one this particular thing, and it will run this thing. It will come here. It will take this visit variable into this already into numbers. This number is a variable array where this all thing will be stored. This callback will run after this each iteration, whatever the 1 2 3 4 number. So it will each iteration it will pass, it will give one value 1 2 3 4. So how it's like this will do thing of printing. This will for the slice, and this will call back. It will call another function. It will go inside. It will call another function, and after that it will print this particular range of the numbers, whatever the numbers inside that, one by one. It will print. So like this it will go. You want to understand how it's execute. So you can learn about what is callback in Wikipedia page. So this kind of another callback you can execute and learn. And this one like a lot of ways to do this thing callback, kind of similar. So this is a factorial. Maybe you know factorial. You can use factorial number. So I will not discuss this basic. So you can use recursion. Uh, so it's so this is the important thing. Maybe you don't know differ. So defer is what it will do. It will execute the rest of things. After that, it will execute. This will kind of like when you uh, run print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to 10 number, and when you use a defer keyword, it will become a ulta. So it will print 10 first, 9 for a second, one by one it will print. So let's see how this defer works. When I run this, what it will do? It will go, I give a defer keyword to world. So what will do? It will execute in end. It will not execute this one and use defer. Rest of the thing it will do. So it will go to hello, it will print this hello. After that, it will print this. When you use the defer, it will become ulta. So you can check this particular effective go. There is one site called effective go. You can go. There is a good explanation how to return, and you can always run from documentation. And what is a defer? So this is a defer definition. You can go to Golang documentation, and there is another thing called defer statement also. So you can understand that one also. So we have seen this variadic function. What is variadic function? When you give a function and you have a particular variable, and as one variable you can store multiple values of array inside of that is variadic function. What is a function? Variable expression as a function. So when you give a variable and is equal to that variable equal to that function, and you pass that function inside, but it's need to be inside of one uh, particular main function. So it need to be on one function. If it's not outside the scope of that variable, outside of that curly braces of func main, it will give a error. So we saw a callback, how it's work. This callback is like calling another particular function. It's callback. So what is a closure? Closure is something enclose another thing. Uh, so this is a tips. So let's move on. So up to this we covered, and you can check another tutorial. This is slides. So I have declared here appointed slides. So this is all slides available here. So let's see another thing. Maybe I have time. So if I have time, I want to spend a little bit time around something called standard library. So Sam, can we have time? So I will discuss a little bit about this. So from 102, this is very basic
Yeah,
and
Sanam, you can take 10 minutes more.
yeah.
Not a
So
problem.
yeah. So this is particular Go 101 track. In this track, I have covered a little program which help you to build your logic and understand the syntaxes. So after that, for every programming language, there is a standard library. You need to understand that standard library and what is inside, what is the functionality. After that, when you do that practice, and you can learn this language very quickly. So from 102, 103, 104, 105. So this is a fully based on standard library. 102 based on the more about OS and system level environment setup, process ID, how to retrieve a particular version. This more into a process or operating system level, and this second thing is string. Third thing will be a pointer and floats. 105 will be this. You can go downside. There will be one box called Discord. You can just click on connect button, and you will be join go for community. I'll be there if you need any help, any issue in learning. So let me. So I will take only one point. That will be like, I think we as we cover Terraform. I just want to show one. Uh, Let me share my another screen. Let me give a minute. So I will stop share and I will start sharing. So I will share another screen. I will share my desktop. This. Just I will take one slide. Hope it's visible. Okay. So everyone learn about what is the particular uh, thing. What is the Terraform, and maybe you have installed Docker and different software. And when you do a particular Docker dash free or particular version checking of any application, or in terminal you notice uh, it will return the version. So just click one particular program, and after that we'll take a question if there is a questions. So package main is a already say I'm using two libraries here, logs. So log will help you when you into a Linux Windows environment information. It will give you what's happening with your program PC, how was the environment. It will give what's the status of, and it will be very useful package for if you are using the particular application in different environment Mac running. So it will be very helpful. You can use a log. After that you can use a runtime. Runtime is something package, is very powerful package used by every project in CNCF. And this particular thing where it will give a what is access some of the your application internal, maybe monitoring feature, and it will internal feature it will access and will give. So now in this program I created one constant called info, and constant after that I give a value as application percentage yes. First percentage yes is to example. It will give whatever the value here, it will give here. So application example starting. So after that the binary was built by Go percentage yes. So now runtime, I'm using runtime package, runtime dot version. So what it will do, it will give a particular version of my Go language. So it will, what will do, if you use runtime and you pass this runtime, what is the runtime version? So what will do, you just go and terminal, save this file as a main.go, and after that run this. Info will give, log package will give a time, every log package will give time. After that it will run this and it will give pass this particular variable. After that application example standard, and after that it will give whatever the version you are running currently on your PC. So let me take some of the questions. So Amaya Agase has a question. uh, so he is asking about what is struct. Struct is when you want to store some kind of fields, you can use struct. So it's kind of a is part of every language. Struct, maybe if you're familiar with C programming where you used to store some value into fields. You have a book name, author name. If you want to some kind of information, that time you use struct. Okay. So struct is I think not a different, same. So any other questions if you have, I can take. And one more thing before stopping this. Stop this thing. You can see my screen. Everyone go to this particular Discord and click on connect so you can join my community and we can discuss more and more and more. So from next session, next maybe whenever I'll be available, so we'll be covering a standard library. It will be going to be very specific to the building a projects. If you're more to more into professional way, so I have covered only basic in little bit and not explained like a lot of things. But I have written blogs here, so you can click and you can read these blogs and you can learn yourself. So thank you, Sayam and Saloni.
Thank you, Sangam, for the wonderful session.
So I'll be stopping my screen.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
be taking
So
over.
uh, that was a great session, Sangam. And if anybody has any questions, please feel free to post them on YouTube or Discord, whatever Sangam has mentioned, you can join that. Maybe Sangam, you can paste the link on YouTube
Yes.
channel as well, so that people can readily join it. Later on, I'll add that in the description as well. So I'll make Saloni the host.
Thank you, Sayam. I'll share my screen.
Yeah. So Saloni today will be speaking on Grafana and with a demo she has prepared. So let's hear about Grafana. Over to you, Saloni.
Yeah, thank you, Sayam. Hope my screen is visible.
Yes, it is.
Okay, cool. And so, hello everyone. Thank you for joining in. And I will be taking up Grafana as Sayam told. And as you all know, now Grafana 7.0 version has been released. So I will be installing the new Grafana 7.0 using Katagoda Ubuntu. And then I will try to show some, sorry, I will try to show some of the new features of Grafana 7.0. And before proceeding to install 7.0, for the people who are new to Grafana and who don't know what is Grafana and why it is used, so I will be giving a quick overview on what is Grafana and the features which Grafana is having, and then I will move on to Grafana 7.0. So now the people who don't know and who have never used Grafana can kickstart your journey of Grafana today, as I will be showing you a cool demo how to install Grafana, and as well as I will be using Grafana Playground and showing you the Grafana Playground as well. So moving on to what is Grafana and when it was started. So the project came into the picture on 2014 by Torkel, Torkel, Turkel. So sorry if I am not pronouncing it correctly. And it is open source, as most of you know. It is open source project on GitHub. So Grafana is basically the solution for running your data analytics and pulling up the metrics. And you can easily monitor your applications using Grafana. How you can monitor? You can monitor by using beautiful customizable dashboards. So in a while, I will be showing you few of the dashboards which are already there in the Grafana playground and how you can customize it and what are all new features came into the picture with Grafana 7.0. So moving on, these are few of the things which you would love to do in Grafana and the things which you can do in Grafana. So you can easily explore your metrics and logs using Grafana. So exploring is the feature which I'll be showing you shortly in Grafana. So in Explore feature, you can drill down to find the root cause of the issue, what went wrong using logs. And in Grafana, new logging data source, Loki is also tightly integrated into Explore and allows you to correlate metrics and logs by viewing them side to side. So new debugging workflow is also created where you can receive your alert, examine your metrics, search logs related to metrics and time interval. And if you don't want to create dashboard, then Explore makes this much easier. So you can just directly use the Explore features and you can view the results, graphs and tables. And this Explore feature is only available from 6.0 version. Before that, this Explore feature was not there, so this came into the picture in 6.0 feature version. And then now it is very easy, no need of creating dashboards. Directly you can go to the Explore feature and drill down the issues, logs, whatever what, and you can monitor your application in short without creating the dashboards. And you can also generate alerts and using Slack alerts, pager duty alerts, whatever kind of alerts you want. You can generate alerts as well using Grafana. So coming to annotations, so you just need to create annotations with a simple description and tags. And if you will hover over the graph, it will show the events, the tags which you have saved. So it is very easy to add annotations as well in Grafana. Now coming to the next feature or capability of Grafana, that is dashboard variables. So what basically dashboard variable does is it allow you to create templates, and these templates you can use later on, and you can also share these dashboards, these templates to your team. So it is really easy to create templates on Grafana. Suppose you have both environment like production and test, and you want to use the same dashboard for both. So you can share these dashboards across your team or organizations. Now coming to configuration of Grafana, you can configure Grafana. There is official page which which shows the step how to install on Mac OS, Linux using Docker run like images. So today I will be using a Grafana image, Docker image. I will not be installing on Linux on my local machine or all. I'll be using Docker image. And if you don't want to use Docker image, you can visit the Grafana official page and check out the other configuration options available for Grafana. But today I will be using Docker image. Coming to import dashboards and plugins. So Grafana offers you with hundreds of dashboards and plugin options. You can go to official library, and you can see there are many plugins like pie chart, CloudWatch, Elasticsearch, heat maps, track driver, etc. So feel free to go to the official page and check out the plugins which are available for the Grafana. There are many plugins available. Coming to the authentication parts, so Grafana uses authentication methods like LDAP and OAuth. So permissions can be set according to your need. So basically, there are roles like organization role, in which admin, editor, and viewer role is there. And via team memberships, you can assign specific permission to your team member. So you have organization like any other cloud systems, IAM, like that. In here also you have permissions, and you can directly assign permissions to the folder as well, dashboards and data sources. And last but not the least, Grafana admin is also one of the permissions you can set in. Provisioning also you can do. There are configuration tools. You can take help of management tools like Puppet in this Grafana, and you can easily do it. Coming to the Grafana Cloud, there are two products of Grafana. One is Grafana Cloud, and the other one is Grafana Enterprise. So Grafana Cloud includes your own dedicated instance along with a high performance metrics backend that is fully compatible with Graphite and Prometheus. You can also store your alert, and without worrying about the managing or scaling of your stack. It is also tightly coupled with log aggregation and storage with Loki. So it is very nice feature of Grafana that Loki is also aggregated with this, tightly coupled with Grafana. And it also has very powerful alerting. Like you can as I have mentioned earlier, you can easily get notified with pager duties, Slack, and mail. Many options are there. And if you want to explore Grafana Cloud, there is also 30 days free trial available. And if not, it starts with $49, I guess. So you can easily use Grafana Cloud and explore it with the 30 days free trial. And now I will be telling you a little about Grafana Enterprise version. And what's special in Grafana Enterprise version is you have additional features that are not available on open source, like enhanced authentication capabilities. So you can easily get access to premium plugins. So premium plugins that Grafana offers is ServiceNow, Oracle DB, Splunk, Datadog, etc. So you can go and explore this Grafana Enterprise also if you want, as it have some special capabilities. So what I'll be going to do is, now I will be opening the Grafana playground and will be showing you the explore feature. So let me share the Grafana playground. I hope you can see my screen. Okay, so this is playgrafana.org. So maybe Sayam or Sangam can post this playground in the chat so that they can also explore it along with me, everybody who has joined the call. So these are the, this is the play home of Grafana. So it don't have all the features though, like alerting feature is not there. But when I'll be installing Grafana 7.0, then you might be able to see. But for now, I am using Playground just to show you few features of Grafana. So as you can see, it is very easy to change the positions of the panels wherever you want. You can just switch it according to your needs. So it is very easy to place your panels, memories, and the new feature is resizing. You can also resize over here. So as you can see, I have resized the panel according to my need. So if suppose if you want this memory CPU panel to resize, so you can simply do this in such a way. So it makes your monitoring really easy, and dashboards are really amazing over here. So now as I showed, as I explained about the explore feature, how you can drill down to your logs, incidents. This is the explore feature which I was talking about. If you click on here, it shows the functions, the features, and you can simply add in your queries here. And if you want to disable it, you can simply click on here. And if you want to remove the query, it is really simple. So what I find best about Grafana is it is very user friendly and easy to use. So this is the way. And if you want to run query, you can simply click on this button and run your query. Also, it has very nice feature. You can set the timer, like which query you want, a last 1 hour, last 5 minutes, last 15 minutes, 30. So it is up to you. You can set this also over here. And these are few of the features available here. As you can see, InfluxDB, Loki, Grafana ES logs, data logs. So as I mentioned earlier, it is very easy to see logs in Grafana. So you can simply go in here and check out the logs. So this is the feature, and these are the logs. You can easily see detailed version of your logs over here. So if you are stuck into some issues, so what I can see in Grafana, it is very easy to troubleshoot, and very clear and proper logs you get in Grafana over here. Now I'm coming to the next feature, that is query history. So that is another very nice feature of Grafana. What it does is, whatever the queries you have run in the last week or today. As you can see, this is the uh, timer sort of thing. You can push it up and down according to your need. And yes, this will be stored locally to your desktop, locally to your application. Nobody else can see it. So if I am setting this and if I'm checking this, and say if I have shared this dashboard to Sangam, so Sangam will not be able to see the queries which I ran. So this will be local to your machine. Nobody else can see which and all you have seen. So query you have run. So query history is very nice, another feature, and you can just adjust the timeline over here and check. One more great feature of Explore is, without creating dashboard, you can compare the two of your environments. Suppose you have a development environment and the other is production. So you can simply go here, and as you can see, my window has been duplicated, and you can change it to Google Sheets or Grafana, whatever you want, and you can compare your data. So if you want to check the CPU utilization or how your project is running, so you can simply compare your environments. Like left hand side you can keep your test, the right hand side you can um, keep your production environment, and it is really simple for you to compare. And if you want to quit, simply you can click on this cross and you can exit this split view. So this was all about the playground. So you can just go to the home page, and simply, if you don't want to go to this explore option explicitly, from here there is one more great option, and I can you can just go to the panel and go to the explore directly from in here, and add your queries and check the graphs. Also, I talked about a feature in Grafana, add annotations. So you can add annotations from here. If you go to the edit option, so you can add simply your annotations as well in here. So we can go to edit over here, and you can simply add annotations with just adding a small description. Suppose you want to add something like CPU went to 99, utilization went to 99%. You can add your tags over here, whatever you want, and then you can test. You can save it with the tags, and you can simply view your annotations by just hovering on it. So this was the features of Grafana, and after installing the new Grafana 7.0, I will be telling you the new features of Grafana. So you can also go ahead anytime and play with, and if you're finding some issues, you can go to the GitHub and contribute. You can raise issues, whatever you want. So now, as I mentioned, I will be using the Katagoda Ubuntu Playground. So you can also install Grafana latest version with me. If not, you can later on view the recording. Sayam will be sharing the recording in YouTube afterwards. So you can just look into the session for now. So let's get started. So first thing what I will be doing is, okay, I missed the D. So I will be creating a network Docker network named as InfluxDB. Whatever name you can keep over here, it is your wish. So for now, I will be creating a network called InfluxDB over here, and I will be installing Grafana, Telegraph, Influx, everything in the same network. So I will be able to generate few of the graphs or able to get the data. So that is the reason I am creating a network over here, InfluxDB. So let's create, and let me switch on to presentation mode so it is more clear for you. So it is creating Docker network. Let's give some time to it. So Katagoda is sometimes slow, so do not worry about this. So you can see it has been created. Now what I am going to do next is I will be installing Grafana, the latest Grafana 7.0.0 in here. So as you can see, I am installing the Grafana latest version 7.0.0. If you want to install some other version, you can type in here like 6.0 or anything, whatever you want, in the same memory, in the same network, sorry. So influxdb -net equals to influxdb. So this was the network name which I have given. So now as you can see, it is pulling image of Grafana, latest image of Grafana, and here it is. It has downloaded newer image, that is 7.0.0. Let me clear my screen. Now after installing Grafana, I will be installing Influx in the same network. So as you can see, 8086 is the port, and for Grafana it was 3000. And now let's install InfluxDB. So you can always play around using Katagoda, or you can use playgrounds that is readily available for Grafana. And if you have any doubts, you can always tweet me on my Twitter account, that is @I_Saloni92. You can always ask your doubts in there. And if you have any questions, you can post on YouTube chat also right now, so that I can answer afterwards, or Sayam and Sangam can take it right away. So as you can see, it is downloading the latest image of Influx. It is pretty slow. So it has downloaded 37 MB out of 45 right now. So whatever data source you want to use, you feel free to do it. So for today's demo, I thought of using InfluxDB. And if you want to check out session of Influx, you can check out Sayam's video in YouTube. You can subscribe to his channel and look out for the Influx this session by him, and very good session given by him. So almost we are there. It download has been completed. Just we need to wait for a little. And till the time, you can also go ahead to this Katagoda playground, and you can also run these commands. So what I can do is I can paste these commands till the time it is loading in the YouTube channel, till the time it is downloading. So these two commands I have pasted in the YouTube chat. I don't know today why Cartogoda is damn slow. It is not this much slow also, but it is taking very much time today. I don't know. Okay, so it has downloaded thankfully. So don't worry, it is not that slow also, but today I don't know what is happening. Maybe my network is not that good. Okay, so now what we have done is we have successfully created a network named InfluxDB. We have installed Grafana. We have downloaded InfluxDB. Now, what I am going to do is we'll be generating Telegraph conf. I'll be clearing this. So what I am doing over here is I am running a Telegraph container over here and generating Telegraph configuration file, and then I am removing the Telegraph container. So that's what I am doing right now. Let me paste the same command. So download is almost completed. After this, we will be making our Telegraph configuration ready to be used. So Telegraph, then we will be downloading Telegraph, and we will be using this configuration file for downloading the Telegraph. So download is almost complete, I guess. Let's wait for a few more seconds. Thank you, Sayam Sangam, for answering the questions in the chat. So you can always play around using Katagoda. Let's see. It is still generating Telegraph conf. Let's wait for a while. So live demos are always unpredictable. You never know when it works fast, when it works slow. So when I used to try, it always used to run within few seconds. Okay, almost we are done, I guess. Let's see. Still it is. So as you can see, this command, what it is doing is it is running the Telegraph container, and then it is generating telegraph.conf. And what I have done is after it generates telegraph.conf hyphen rm, so it will remove the telegraph container. So that's what this command is doing. Let's see. Let's wait for a while. After this is completed, I'll be editing telegraph configuration file. So new image for telegraph latest. It's downloaded. Maybe high load on Katagoda today. Okay, it's done. Let's clear it out. And if you'll do ls, wow, now you can see your telegraph.configuration is available in here. And now what I am going to do is I'll be editing this telegraph configuration file for influx. Let's search influx. And what I am going to do over here is I will be editing this mentioned URL because we are not using this. So first let me remove this comment, and let's add the URL which we will be using. So I will be using http://influxdb influxdb8086 over here. So we have done successfully changed for influx. Now let's change for Docker. I'll be pressing escape over here. Oh, I think I missed I in influx. Let me add it. Okay, great. Now you can see, you can also go ahead, escape. Now let's go to the Docker. Let's search Docker and let's edit file. So you have to be very careful while editing this conf file. If you are not editing it correctly, your telegraph will not come up. Okay, let's uncomment this and let's delete this hash. So this endpoint is in picture now and inputs.docker is also in picture now. Let's escape :wq, save this configuration. Great. Now I hope now this time it will install Telegraph in no time, because today it is taking a lot time. Okay, let's see if so. What I am doing over here is, again in InfluxDB, I am installing Telegraph using my Telegraph conf, which is stored in this machine. So let's see how much time it takes to install Telegraph. Then we will be done with the installation and we can directly log into the Grafana using by default username password, that is admin. So once it is done, we'll be opening the port 3000 and logging into Grafana. Let's see how much time it will take this time. So you can also install these things and play around. Okay, let's check if everything is running. Okay, as you can see, Telegraph, InfluxDB, and Grafana. Three of them are ready. Let's open the port. Okay, so 3000 has been used. Okay, it's loading now. Wow, so your Grafana has been installed. You can also give it a try. So default username password is admin login. If you want to keep new password, you can go ahead. So and there is an option for skipping it, so you can skip as well. It is your wish. Okay, I was typing too fast, I guess. So now what you can see over here is welcome to Grafana, and this is the latest 7.0.0. And now I will show you difference between the playground and this which we have installed. So I'm going to the playground. As you can see, in playground there are only 3 options available, but if you want to play around like alerts and more tabs, so you can directly go and install in over here. So that is the difference in the playground and this one. And now what I am going to do is I'll be adding a data source into this, and which data source you can also always add data source which you want. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm using influx, so you can use, so you can add in data source from here, as well as you can simply go to your home page, and from here also you can add the data sources whichever you want. So what I can do is I can select influx, as I'll be using influx. So one thing which I will be telling you here is, suppose our URL is http influxdb colon 8086, but let us give something else over here. Okay, so why I'm giving this, I'll let you know. Okay, so I have given this and I'm pressing save and test, and it is showing data source is working, even though I have given wrong URL over here. Why it is happening? Because we are using Cartagoda and it is not compatible to check this thing in Cartagoda. So what I'm going to do is I will be now. So you have to make sure that you are inputting the correct URL over here, because if you'll put wrong URL over here, it will not show in Katacoda. So please make sure that you are putting the correct URL and the correct database over here. Let's save and test. Wow, so data source is working. We have successfully added our InfluxDB over here. Now, what I am going to do is I am going to create our very first dashboard. So let's go to the create option over here and add a new panel. Okay, so now we'll be setting up the queries over here, AutoGen. So I'll be selecting Docker over here. And instead of mean in select, I will be taking as count and field value. What I need to do is, what I'll be checking over here is how many containers are running. So if you'll change the timings, let us put the 5 minutes. So from the last 5 minutes, as you can see, 11:57. So these are the containers which are running. Okay, so in this, what we can do is we can always go and edit. If you want to see something else like container stopped, and you can always refresh your board from here. So it will show whatever the queries you want to run, you want to see. Memory total, CPUs, if you want to check the CPUs, how many CPUs are running, you can check that as well from here. So what I am going to do is, now this is your very first dashboard ready. Now what we are going to do is we will be saving this dashboard as our influx test in general folder and save it. You can play around with more queries if you like to do. So what we have done is I have saved the very first panel, very first dashboard. Now what I'm going to do is I will be exploring the new features of Grafana 7.0. So the one of the features is this sizing, which I have showed you previously also in the playground. So this is one of the features. And the next feature, new feature, is this inspect. So now what you can do is you can inspect easily from here with data, stat, JSON, query. And the another very good new feature is you can download now the CSV for all of the functions. You can just apply over here and you can go to data and you can download the CSV from here very easily. And moving on to the next feature, in here you can see this is series override. You can add series override over here for whatever you want. So this is also great feature. Now thresholds, you can set your thresholds in here, add whatever you want. Time regions, so it has become really easy and you can do whatever you want just in here. Now what I'm doing is I will be quickly sharing my PPT in order to speak more about the Grafana new features, and I will be trying to show as well if I have left out with some other new features. So what we have done is we have already installed it. Configuration of Grafana we have done. And if you want to see the docs from here, installation docs, you can directly go in here in the on this web page and check it out. Now let's check this new Grafana features. So as I have already showed, there are new experience of editing panels. So a complete new visualization Grafana 7.0 is offering, and it has a fresh new icons. So that also I will be showing you which are all fresh new icons are there. And it has unified data model, tracing option, and you can inspect and export your data. Now it has become very easy. And the new Grafana UI component library is also there now available. So basically it has new enhancements, UX enhancements. So you can you have a new table panel that supports horizontal scrolling and resizing of column. You can easily expand, now collapse your logs and rename the columns. So as I have told, auto layout mode also is there that makes very easy to resize your panels and override, which I have showed. So you can easily override the time zone and fresh icons I will be showing you. What this unified data model is. So unified data model makes it possible to define a specific data configuration like unit max and minimum, now decimals, minimum value mappings. And now the users have consistent way to define the data sources and override rules. So now you can easily customize your way consistent. Suppose you have a large production environment, so you can easily do so with using the Grafana, these unified data model. You can just customize your views. So now they have a new trace view also. So you can directly use the explore option from the panel as I have showed you. So explore either directly to search for the particular trace, or you can configure Loki also to do that. And link directly to the trace timeline pulled from your Jaeger or Zipkin data sources. So this is also the new feature. So you can directly trace your timelines pulled from Jaeger and the Zipkin. So talking about this Grafana toolkit, this is also the another feature. You can deliver a simple CLI that helps plugin authors quickly, like quickly scaffold, develop, or test their plugins without worrying about the configuration details. So going back to the influx data which we have installed. So this is the transform feature which I was talking about in the PPT. So now you can easily use, this was a most requested feature, this transform. So now they have implemented in 7.0. Alerts also you can this is not the new feature, I'm just showing you. From here also you can create alerts and all. So simply go in here and enjoy playing around with Grafana. If you have some doubts, you can simply tweet on my Twitter account. And thank you so much for attending this session. Over to you, Sayam.
Thank you, Saloni. It was really a great session, and I hope everyone enjoyed all the sessions, and hope your weekend was good. And so that's it from our side for today. Thank you everyone for joining, and stay safe, and keep joining our streams. I mean, I'm not a professional YouTuber, but yeah, I'm trying to just stream different stuff, cloud native tech, and get a lot of speakers, the experts, and I myself learn a lot during this journey. And so that's what we share with every one of you. So share as much as you can, and we'll be back with another stream next week. So till then, bye bye and see you.